This is the Fimi Palm 2 Pro, and it is an upgrade over the original Fimi Palm 2. And I thought, this is kind of an interesting little device. Now, I've had pocket gimbals before. I got the original DJI Osmo Pocket, and it's a great little tool. Now, the original Fimi Palm was pretty good, but this thing is absolutely better. We've got an upgraded sensor and a handful of other things that make this a better tool. Now, I thought I'd put this thing to the test. Now, my kids are on spring break right now, so we just did a trip to Chicago, and I thought this would be a great little tool to bring along for the ride. So, I had it with us. We visited the Bean, then we went to the Willis Tower, formerly known as the Sears Tower. We took this thing up 103 stories to look around. Then we got out on the glass shelf with it. That was kind of fun. Took them to this fun little milkshake shop that they got the world's sugary-ish drinks, and finished the day off at a Starbucks, the world's largest Starbucks downtown Chicago. So this was a lot of fun. This came along for the ride, So if you're thinking, is this, a doable little bring it with you tool? Absolutely. I also brought this thing to a family gathering. We threw the football around outside, so you can kind of compare how this does in outside brightly lit situations, as well as put it to the test with some slow-mo playing ping pong in the basin. So I tested a few setups to go along with this little pocket camera. It's great because you got everything here, but this tiny little screen isn't the best. I like using my phone with it, so we put a couple of different rigs to the test. Inexpensive rigs, added a microphone and things like that. So we're going to compare this to its closest rival, that is the DJI Osmo Pocket at $200. This is a little bit more expensive at $229. All right, so we're going to look at some video of the Fimi Palm 2 Pro, and we're also going to look at some footage from the DJI Osmo Pocket, shooting at a couple of different resolutions, starting at 2.7K. We're going to switch up to 4K. We're going to look at 1080p. We're going to look at slow-mo, and you can kind of decide, here at the beginning for yourself. I'll give some comments here in a little bit what I think. Kind of usability of the camera is good. It's very easy to use most of the time here. Just the camera, no rig, no phone. Just bring it around like you would pretty much your cell phone. I'm shooting in the normal color profile. There are a handful of different other options you may want to try. I'm shooting without an ND filter. Inside, when I'm outside, I'm using ND4. Now here outside, I think it looks a little bit washed out. Now, of course, you can change some of that in post, which is what I did here. I think it looks a little bit better, just a little low contrast, a little too bright. I think they could do a little bit better with some of the standard settings. We're going to also look at, it does have HDR with that quad bearer sensor. Super excited about that, but I just don't feel like they're taking advantage of that sensor like they did with the DJI Mavic Air 2. That was one of the best features of that drone, right? So if you kind of compare, this is what HDR looks like for the Mavic Air 2. Really, really good. Definitely an upgrade. Was kind of hoping for more. All right, so now we're going to look at how it compares to the DJI Osmo Pocket. We're shooting at 1080p, 60 frames a second for slow-mo, because everything looks cooler in slow-mo, right? Here's that slow-mo from the Fimi Palm 2 Pro, and you can tell right away that the Palm 2 Pro is a lot wider, right? So again, you can see that here. I'm turning the light on and off so you can kind of see how they change, right, from different lighting situations, but definitely the field of view looks a little different. Overall, it's a pretty decent little pocket camera, if a pocket camera is what you're after. All right, so let's take a look at some of the features that I do really like. Now, we've got the 1/2-inch sensor. That's a quad bear sensor from Sony, and that's gonna do a lot better than the original. I do also like this joystick, super handy, not something you have on the Osmo. And this button here, quick triple tap to reverse the gimbal. There are a whole lot of other settings and things you can access with this touch screen here, but I actually prefer to connect this to my phone and then have a larger screen. One of the things that's really nice about this camera is that it has facial recognition. So you see that little smiley face guy there? You tap that button and then the camera will kind of follow your face around, right? So if you kind of need a second cameraman, that's a pretty neat little trick. Works pretty well too. There really is a lot you can do inside the app. Panoramics, photos, videos, slow motion, time lapse. There's a lot going on with this tiny little camera. You know, there are a handful of different options. 4K, we've only got 4K 30 or 24, but 2.7K 24 to 60 and 1080 24 to 60 as well. So some good options in terms of shooting. You have a handful of different gimbal options, right? There's pitch lock, gimbal lock, follow mode, and FPV mode. And there's a whole lot of customizability here. The microphone on this guy is improved and it has noise canceling. Here's that noise canceling microphone so you can compare. Okay, so for the best possible audio, you're gonna wanna add an external mic. This microphone right here, we picked up as part of a kit for 30 bucks, and it's definitely doing the job for us. You could also opt for a more expensive mic, but not sure if that is totally necessary for this setup. Now this is sound on the Rode mic that we have set up. Definitely a better, higher quality mic, but maybe it's not totally necessary for you. I tried out a handful of kits, and actually I'm a pretty big fan of this setup here. This is actually a combination of two different kits, one that I got the light and microphone with, and then another that has this nifty little adapter here, as well as this gray one here. This big honker comes with the microphone and the light. So I'll put links in the video description if you're looking for additions to these. I also picked up a set of ND filters, and these ND filters are pretty awesome because they slip on via a magnet. So you just kind of clip it on there, and boom, I've got an ND filter. Pretty awesome. So really, you're gonna have to decide, is this a tool that you want? It is a little bit more capable than just your cell phone, but you kind of have to add some different things to it in order for that to be the case. And you probably could do that. You could probably do a lot of this with a cell phone camera. So, you know, there are definitely use cases for a pocket gimbal, but really I'd like to see people stop copying what DJI is doing and be innovative. One of these with a 1-inch sensor, yeah, now you've got a pretty interesting product. You know, otherwise I'd probably just use my cell phone versus one of these. Anyway, just my 2 cents. Hope this was helpful. If it was, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you check us out on halfgrown.com. We gave away 2 drones the other day on our live stream, so you definitely want to make sure you subscribe so you don't miss stuff like that. Good luck, everyone. Have a great day.